Okay, so I don't even know if I'm gonna post this, but if I do. Okay, so the first thing we need to discuss is what the hell happened to JonBenet Ramsey? And oh my god, I do not need that. Oh, she's the new Katy Perry. That's some weird ass conspiracy theory I don't want to get into. If you don't know about the JonBenet Ramsey case, she was a 6-year-old American child beauty queen. I just don't like the whole pageant beauty thing, but anyway. So basically, she was a 6-year-old girl who was killed in her house, and her parents declared her missing, but she was found dead in their own basement. Already very like puts the family into a very the family probably killed her, you know, like anyone would think that, duh. When her dad found her, he picked her up and he brought her upstairs. So that just destroyed the whole, you know, crime scene. Because when a crime scene happens, obviously you're not supposed to disrupt it. Because when you disrupt it, you just destroy evidence. So basically the evidence was destroyed. Until date, we don't know what happened to JonBenet Ramsey. But people think that her brother, who was 9 years old at that time, he killed her. And the parents were trying to, cover up for their son. And there are other conspiracies as well that the father was JonBenet Ramsey and that I don't know, there's so many conspiracies. And one of them is the Katy Perry one, where people think that, oh, JonBenet Ramsey grew up to be Katy Perry. Who and why? Like, how? Make it make sense, please. Oh my god, also another thing. When the parents found JonBenet Ramsey's body in the basement, they also found a ransom note with it. Like, a ransom note is usually, you know, when someone kidnaps someone, and in order to give the someone back, they say, pay us this much, and then, you know, we'll give the person back. The ransom note's handwriting was very, very similar to that of JonBenet's mother's writing. Yes. But still, till date, we don't know what happened. So basically, a lot of people believe that JonBenet Ramsey's brother, her 9-year-old brother, basically killed her. Why? I'll tell you why. JonBenet Ramsey's brother killed her is because when they did an autopsy on her dead body, they found out that she had eaten a pineapple a couple of hours ago before she had been killed. And when the police did some investigation or whatever they do, I don't know, for fingerprints, they found her brother's fingerprints on the bowl of pineapples. Now, I don't know if that's enough evidence, but the fact that her parents declared her freaking missing, and then they found her in their own house, dead, suffocated to death. Basically, she was killed by strangulation. And even though she wasn't molested, but you can't like rule out whether she was molested or not. But till date, it has not been 100% solved what happened to JonBenet Ramsey. Next up, we're going to be talking about Madeline McCann. So Madeline McCann is basically a 3-year-old girl. I'm not going to say she was, because we don't know if she's alive or dead right now. Hopefully she's alive, and you know. So basically she was 3 years old when she was disappeared. What happened was she went with her parents on holiday from England to Portugal. And so basically her parents put her and her siblings to bed. And this was like a resort. They put her to bed and her 2 siblings, and then they would go out and have their dinner or lunch or whatever. And mid-dinner or lunch, they would go back up and check on their kids and come back down. That's I don't like to judge parents, because I'm not one. I don't have the, you know, capacity to judge another parent. But that's such a neglectful behavior. Like, why would you leave like 3 kids? Like, she was 3 and her siblings were 2 years old. So her parents would basically like leave these toddlers alone in the resort in a foreign country. And even though her parents were like in the same area, you can say, at the restaurant, the restaurant was very close to the resort, but still they would leave their children alone and like take turns and go and check on their kids. So the evening she disappeared, her parents were doing the same thing. They put their 3 kids to bed, they put them to sleep that evening, and then they went out to eat. And yes, no one was looking after the kids. So what happened was, so the parents were checking up on the kids throughout the evening. While they were eating the food, they would eat some and they'd go and check on the kids, and they'd come back and sit down again, and then the kids would be alone in that time period. A for parenting, yes. During the evening, when the mother, I think it was the mother who went back to the hotel and she tried to check on the kids, she realized Madeline was missing and her two twins, the twin siblings, were there sleeping, and that's where the investigation basically began. So there was this conspiracy that maybe her parents were giving her some medicine to put her to sleep, and maybe they by mistake overdosed her, and in order to cover up the mistakes they made, they killed her, like they hid her body. Until date, her body has not been found. No one knows what happened to Madeline. No one even left a ransom note. Till date, it was believed that the planned abduction was not by some strangers, by own Madeline's parents, and it was not an abduction. They basically allegedly they killed her. And even the mother, I think, was given the option by the investigators that if Madeline's mother admitted that she killed her daughter by mistake, she would be by law given only 2 years, but she did not accept that because then she'd accept that she killed her daughter, but she didn't. So the parents basically were not charged or anything. And so till date, Madeline McCann has been missing for 12 years. And the case is still unsolved because no one knows what happened to this poor little girl. Okay, so we're gonna pretend that this is how I looked before as well. But this is a whole new day and I'm diving into this again. So all in all, the Portuguese police believed that Madeline had been killed in an accident in the hotel room, and somehow the parents had covered it up and pretended that she had been missing, someone abducted her, because see, there was no ransom note, nothing. She just disappeared and no one knows what happened to her. So basically, the next story is of Kenneka Jenkins. She was 19 years old when she went to a party at Crown Plaza in Chicago, Illinois. This story, like all these stories, I mean, they're obviously very true, but they're also eerie, I want to say, because especially this one, Kenneka Jenkins, she was declared dead basically. She was at a party and then people started noticing that she wasn't in her mind. Maybe she was drugged. So basically, surveillance footage, of course, of the hotel, of what she's doing. Like, she's very loopy. You can tell she's maybe drugged. Of course, she consumed alcohol. She's at a party. She was 19. But what pisses me off is that her friends literally ditched her. Why? You can find a lot of surveillance footage of Kenneka Jenkins in Crown Plaza Hotel. I'm not gonna add this footage in my video because that just I find that a bit disrespectful. So basically, around 5:30 a.m. her friends realized that Kenneka was missing, and then they reported it to her mother. And then their mother wanted to check up on hotel guests, like who were staying, if their daughter was somehow in their room or whatever, but they were not allowed. And then the hotel did not allow this until the police reported her missing. So a little while after that, because she was declared missing, then of course the hotel had to run the surveillance footage. So basically, she was found at 5:30 a.m. and next day 1:30 p.m. around that time she was declared missing, and that's when they could see the surveillance footage, because the hotel did not allow the surveillance footage to be examined without the police declaring Kenneka missing. And either way, throughout the surveillance footage, they found out that she's being led to somehow. You can't see what's happening, but you can see that she's being led to the hotel kitchen. And all these camera footages basically just focus on the entries and the exits of the hotel. Either way, in conclusion, basically her body was found in the hotel kitchen's walk-in freezer and she was dead. Further on, the autopsy showed that she had died of hypothermia. Of course, she was in a walk-in freezer, for God's sakes. But that was not the only reason. She had a certain drug in her body that was for epilepsy and epilepsy migraine. The family said that she had not been prescribed that particular drug, so what happened? And the way she was found, it was just so bizarre. When they found her body in the walk-in freezer, she was on her she was found face down with one shoe off, and there was a cut on her foot. What happened? It's just so strange because there is no particular footage of her entering the freezer, so you don't know if someone did anything to her, if someone led her on, because she had consumed a lot of alcohol and maybe someone had drugged her. But either way, there's so much we don't know, and mostly because of lack of surveillance footage and because the case was delayed a lot. Okay, so the next person we're going to talk about is Elisa Lam. She was declared missing and later on she was found dead in the hotel room's water tank. And this accident occurred also in a hotel. This is the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles, and this story is basically known for like its mysterious circumstances, just like Kenneka Jenkins. Basically, actually, all of these stories that I'm discussing have this mysterious element to them because you don't know what happened. That's why I'm doing this video. You can also find footage of Elisa Lam in Cecil Hotel's elevator. Basically, she keeps on going in and out, and she seems like she's very loopy. It's like she's like talking to someone, but we can't see anyone over there. Plus, she also has bipolar, so we don't know if if she's hallucinating. She's missing for like 5 days before her body is actually found. I know. So her body's found in the hotel's water tank. Just so mysterious and creepy because the part where the water tank is, it's very sealed off. It's like very far away. It's like hard to get to. So how did she get there? Because her body was found literally inside this huge big ass water tank. And the only reason her body was actually found there was because like no one like goes out and looks in the water tank, is because people were actually complaining that, oh, there's something weird about the water, because people staying in the hotel, they were consuming that water. So Elisa Lam was literally decaying in that water tank, and people were consuming it for some days before her body was actually found. No one knows how her body got there, like how, not her body, but how she got there. Like, did someone kill her? Was someone like luring her out? What happened? But like, it was declared an accident, but like, was it really? The information that later came out was like, basically the tank was very sealed off. It was difficult to get into. How did she get there? Why was there no security footage of that? So there were a lot of speculations that went into after the video was released of Elisa Lam, because people said that the security footage of her in the elevator had been tampered with, it had been slowed down, some parts had been eradicated to see whether she was running away from someone. Because if you can find the video very easily over here on YouTube as well. People feel that a lot of footage have been edited out in order to prevent someone's identity. So when she was found in the water tank, she was found naked, basically with her clothes just floating by in the water tank. Her death is just so strange to me, because the investigators released that the water tank was just so hard to get to that even the hotel staff, they had to like climb up a ladder. And what's bizarre, like this is what freaks me out, the part where the water tank is, the investigators released the information that it was so hard to get to the water tank that there were passcodes, there was alarms that if you triggered something, the alarm would go off. Obviously every hotel has security, like if you can't just like go where the hell you want. So that's why people think that the footage they put out was heavily edited, because they were trying to basically hide someone. Maybe some hotel, obviously the hotel would get sued if the footage they put out would show that someone in their staff was luring her away and she was trying to hide from them. Even her phone was not found. Her phone was not in a hotel room. It was not found near the water tank or whatever. It's assumed that she was murdered off. She was killed, but again, there's literally no evidence. But her death was declared as an accident. So that's that. Lastly, I'm going to be talking about two mysteries which kind of overlap with each other, not in like the timeline, but like in the way their story is basically. So first one is of Maura Murray, and the second one is of Jamison Family. So first, let me talk about Maura Murray. She was a 21-year-old nursing student who had been kind of accused of doing card fraud. Like she was using someone's credit card to pay for her things, and like she had a bit of debt as well. So there's this situation. So the entire information we have on her is that she was driving down this lane, and she had a car crash into a tree. And then someone came to her help, and he asked her, should I call you the police or like whatever? And she's like, no, I already have called the police, it's okay. So he was like, okay, whatever, and then he left. And then other people also reported later on in the same time frame seeing her standing there or like whatever, being in the car. And then later on, she just went missing. No one knows what happened to Maura Murray. Basically, the police speculated that she wanted to disappear off voluntarily, that she wasn't like taken by someone or she wasn't like kidnapped, but she did go off the radar because of the car debt, and plus she was like basically involved in stealing someone's credit card and using it as well. So basically, she just wanted to disappear off. And Along with that, the reason why they speculate that she wanted to just she's missing voluntarily is because like she had done some travel preparations, plus she had told her professors at the universities where she was studying that she was going out of town because a death had taken in her family, but her family said that no one in the family had died. So basically she had lied to her professors and her boyfriend as well, and then she just disappeared literally off the radar. It's been 15 years, no one knows what happened to her. Last people who saw her were people who were driving home from work, and that's it. This is also a very mysterious case, just like all the other cases I've discussed. So basically the Jamison family, I'm like literally all over the place. It's 5 a.m, 5:10 a.m to be precise. I'm literally all over the place. Basically, the Jamison family consisted of Cheryl, her daughter Madison, and of course the dad, Bobby. Basically, this Jamison family situation is also very creepy. Just the way Maura Murray's vehicle was found, locked, no sign of Maura. Everything of Maura found in the car, Maura was not there. The same way the Jamison family's pickup truck was found there, and the Jamison family's dog was found inside the truck, and there was a lot of cash as well, but there was literally no sign of the Jamison family for the longest time. A lot of theories came forward that the family had basically faked their deaths in order to, you know, prevent them being killed. Like maybe they were involved in drug dealing, or they maybe owed someone a lot of money, and maybe that's why they were killed off, but their bodies were never found. What happened to them? Like they just vanished off the face of the earth. So the Jamison family basically disappeared in 2009. After like almost 4 years later on, in 2013, two joggers were like, of course, jogging, duh. They found the remains of 2 adults and 1 child, and it was heavily speculated that this is the Jamison family. And of course the forensic tests were done and everything was done, and then it was declared that this is the Jamison family, but no one knows what happened to them. Like, of course it had been like 4 years, so no one knows what happened to them, who killed them, blah blah blah. So it is still a mystery how they died. Okay, this is the end of the video, you guys. So if you guys want me to cover any other similar stories, feel free to comment down below and let me know, and I will try to cover them. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. You're my Brooklyn love.